The Duke Lemur Center. This was a place I had only heard about in videos or pamphlets, but nonetheless, it was one of the reasons why I'd wanted to come to Duke. Not because I was particularly interested in ecology or zoology, but honestly just because it sounded cool. The fact that the largest and most diverse lemur population outside Madagascar was housed in a random forested area in Durham, North Carolina, was just fascinating. Prosimians, the primate group that houses lemurs, lorises, and bush babies, are fascinating creatures, but they're also one of the most gravely endangered primate species in the world. And that's something we have to care about, not just for the betterment of our global wildlife ecosystems, but even for the betterment of our own species.
The reason for studying prosimians was really because they hadn't been well studied before. They are the most ancestral of the living primates. They have some very unique characteristics, but also some characteristics that are very similar to us and similar to all of our primate relatives. And so the more we learn about lemurs, the more that informs the history of primates overall.
Every lemur here has a unique story and personality. Cardinal here, for example, is one of only 2 red-fronted lemurs in the entire center. But with over 14 species and 200 plus animals, it can be really difficult to keep track of everyone. Of course, technology has played a major role in monitoring the lemurs' daily habits, but DLC staff also employ a much simpler approach in recognizing the wide biodiversity of their colony.
So each species has a different naming theme, and we try not to repeat any names in our DLC history. Some of the current naming themes are blue-eyed black lemurs are named after blue-eyed celebrities. Our cockerel shafak are named after Roman emperors and empresses. Our ruffed lemurs are named after celestial things, so moons, stars, galaxies.
But obviously, the DLC isn't just about the lemurs themselves. So much goes into caring for these animals, a collaborative effort of an incredible group of staff and volunteers who dedicate hours upon hours for these animals to be safe and healthy. It starts as early as 6:45 in the morning in a warmly lit kitchen to prepare the lemurs' diets, packed with fresh produce grown in the DLC's own garden. Although most lemurs are omnivorous, their diet consists of mostly, low-hanging fruit, so they eat a lot and constantly. Every bowl is custom tailored to the lemur's developmental and personal needs, truly like a home-cooked meal. These meals are distributed throughout the DLC's 7 enclosures over 100 acres, from indoor areas with better temperature regulation for when it gets too cold in a North Carolina winter, to outdoor enclosures with exciting play structures and free-range locations. There is an overwhelming sense of organization and personalization, down to the smallest worm for breakfast. Every space is kept in immaculate condition, and everyone you meet will greet you with so much eagerness and enthusiasm for what they do. Every aspect of the animals' lives are thoroughly accounted for, whether it's creating a space for nocturnal lemurs, providing routine vaccinations and veterinary care, even making stuffed animals and other toys as social stimulation to support lemurs' mental health and better simulate the conditions in Madagascar. Clearly, the Lemur Center's conservation approach is rooted in sustainable practice. And that's also true literally. Just from entering, there's no shortage of beautiful tall trees serving as a canopy of shade and a limitless play structure, especially during fall season. In fact, the DLC houses one of the official finest trees in Durham, a Dawn redwood standing at 94 feet tall. And that's an accomplishment that is definitely not going to noticed by Durham's sustainability management. The DLC has implemented numerous other green practices, such as rainwater collection, composting, and finding new spaces to introduce plant life to brighten the already so vibrant scenery. To support all these activities is the DLC's strong emphasis on non-invasive research. Very few conservation centers nationwide actually study the animals they care for, and it's had a profound impact on the lemur world, the scientific world, and the aspiring scientist world, where Duke students can engage with lemur research firsthand through classes, lab work, or independent studies.
One of the immediate really exciting things is that we have a new research and veterinary building that's just about to be finished, and it's going to have research space for study of hibernation, and we'll also have a wet lab space where we can do more lab analysis.
It's been amazing getting to experience such a bustling but at the same time so peaceful place, and I'd encourage anyone to sign up for a tour when the weather's nice. But it's so easy to neglect the real conversation in conservation, and that the work to help the ever-growing list of endangered primate species, like persimmons, is far from over, and that the staff and volunteers of the DLC are the real stars of the show. So on behalf of its 35,000 yearly visitors, and lemurs like Felix, thank you.